Sit down as a teacher. You said you started teaching somewhere in whatever, and you are not getting to
times
abreast.
Have changed.
Yes, abreast yourself with the changing times. Your students will run away from you.
Okay, still the One King Show, proudly sponsored by One King Mineral Water. As always, if you are looking to have a taste of royalty and luxury in drinking water, choose One King Mineral Water and say thank you to me. Pick the numbers on our screen and let's do business. Kindly subscribe to our pages at Onekingmultimedia so you don't miss any of the drama, suspense, and education we always come your way on the One King Show. Now to the big plate. Over here, we discuss trending issues and big conversations to the interest of our viewers out there. And tonight, the conversation is on AI. I know you've been wondering, what is AI? What is all this? What are they doing? When did they come? What have they come to do? Yes. So tonight, we're having a conversation on the integration of artificial intelligence and robotics on human resource and global employment rate. And tonight in the studios, I'm being joined by resource people to speak to facts on what we are discussing. And I have with me Mr. Bernard Tay, who is a software developer and a trainer. And I also have with me Cristero. He's always a part of us, but he has some insight. You don't want to miss that one. And I also have with me Frederick Love. Nice one like that. He's an HR practitioner. So let's quickly start the conversation from the software side. Bernard Tay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you too as well.
Yeah, so kindly project for me a little bit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I like that one. Now, AI, artificial intelligence, robot, tech. Talk to us. What's the general knowledge about that?
Okay, so the whole idea is simply to improve efficiency. And then as well on the side of business to also lower cost, because mostly for big businesses, they are looking at profit margins. So they are looking at how best they can at least leverage with technology, to increase profit margins for business. So most times, due to this particular insight, it has led to certain positive outcome and then negative outcome as well. Yeah.
Now, let me come to Mr. Frederick Love. Let's look at the automation impact. Let's look at what AI has come to do in the work sector, you being an HR practitioner.
Okay, thank you very much. I think AI has always been with us. These days, when we hear AI, robotics, I think the whole term was made popular by the introduction of ChatGTP and stuff before people really got to know that, there is something called AI.
So it's been in existence a very long time ago.
It's been in existence for quite a long time. Since the 70s, the 80s, since the introduction of telephone, since the introduction of mobile phone, since the introduction of computers, were the era of AI. You remember when we had a shift from typewriting, the typewriter machine, to computers? It was a system of AI.
Okay.
That was an introduction of a machine to have work done easier, faster, and convenient. And we know that a lot of people lost their jobs through that. It was a means of automating certain procedures at the workplace. And so it is no different from since the 90s or the 80s when we were born. So for AI and automation, it is something that has always been with us. We remember during the pre-colonial era, when there was this industrialization drive, men had to work in the coal mines and other things with physical strength. But now, when you go to our mines, there is this conveyor belt taking... That is AI. That is robotics. So it has always been with us. But since the introduction of ChatGTP, and you see our school people have made it so popular that it sounds like AI has now come to us. At first, maybe when we were doing production, you could have this giant camera with about... How many cameras do you have here? Like 4?
We have about
with 4 men standing behind cameras. But now this is a tiny camera standing on its own and doing its job. That is automation.
Okay.
So the thing has always been with us, but then it's like it's now getting in sync, especially in Africa. So we get to panic a bit that automation, AI is coming and it's coming. But I think that from my perspective as an HR, we know that AI has always been there and it has come to stay and it is always going to be here.
Nice one. Let's take a look at our offices. These AIs and these robotics and this automation coming to replace people in the workplace. Let's look at the impact of that.
I actually think AI has not come to replace. You see, I have a different perspective when we talk about AI replacing humans.
The last time I was watching one of these TV stations, and now, before then, the entertainment news was, being done by one lady. But now, you can see this robot thing standing there doing the job, and it's not the lady. I'm like, has she lost her job already?
The
What's
robot
happening?
is standing there doing presentation.
Yeah, you can see the human being. Like, it's made in this, this form.
All right.
Yeah, like this graphic something.
Okay.
And it's just there presenting.
Yeah, so these are experiments. All right. They are experiments. But the question I'll put to you, which one would you prefer? Would you prefer Miss Hertilicious, as beautiful and eloquent as she is,
Thank you.
sitting down behind a boom mic, doing presentation or having a presentation from an AI? You see, that is what happened, and now we revert to the old ways. You see, in the industrialization era, we had mass production, things being done by robotics, AI, so that we could have a lot of things done at a very short space. So you go to the industries, and then with the introduction of robots, we can have, say, produce 15,000 bottles within 1 minute, right?
Yeah.
It has come to replace. When you go to the fashion industry, we could produce maybe 100 blazers or jackets or suits, right? That is industrialization, automation, AI. But then all these will come, and then at the end, you find out that someone is selling the same suit that we thought AI could do better. It's now selling the same suit, and then the marketing tag is that this is customized, handmade. And then when that comes into power, that one costs more than thousands of suits produced by AI, produced by robotics. So it's not like it has come to replace, but then it is telling us that whatever that we are doing, you have to, involve the real skill, because now machines can do what you are doing. So when you are doing, put up the skill in it and let us know that this is the what produced by a human being. So you come to the work side, and then there is introduction of AI. It means that if the job is menial and you are not upscaling, you are not doing what it takes to add more knowledge to what you already have, very soon it will be taken over by someone or by a machine or by the introduction of maybe an equipment. But then still, even with the introduction of that equipment, you still need a human being to operate.
Yes.
You still need a human being to be behind it.
Yeah.
So the conversation is a little dicey. I don't think that robotics have come to replace. Even in our media space, we could see that since the introduction of the internet, now all media houses, especially the radio stations, are now going Facebook Live, which never used to be there.
Yeah.
They are doing a lot of things. And if you could do the analysis well, you could say, okay, since the introduction of AI, a lot of people have lost their jobs to AI. But then there has also been introduction of new roles.
Exactly.
Now you need a social media manager, which never used to be there. Anka Radio Juma de social media manager.
Yeah, so I wanted to actually even, touch on that one. Don't you think that the introduction or the presence of these AIs and these robotics and all these things, it has now brought this pressure to now bring more tech workers on board, more like an increase in workforce now?
Yeah.
When we thought that it will actually reduce the workforce.
So the argument of reduction is there, and the argument of introduction of new roles has also come to play.
Okay.
So where the skill is not that intense, it could be taken over by robotics, by machines, but there are still certain things that cannot be done by AI. Let's all remember, maybe the tech man will give us more insight about that. The AI was done based on human cognition or cognitive skills.
Okay.
It was somebody who programmed the AI. So who is superior, AI or? But just that we get tired. We have flesh and blood. We may be biased when it comes to certain things, but then machine doesn't. Machine doesn't get tired. So far as you give it the right settings and the right servicing, it could do forever. So when we are looking at things done in a fast-paced manner, then maybe we can rely on robots. But still, I believe that there could be that integration for a good drive.
Bernard, Taylor, let me come to you. On the side of employing more tech and software people, because now a lot of companies and industries are relying on these AI, it's a positive one for your sector, right?
Exactly.
You guys have more jobs now.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, yes. I think for about the past 7 years now, yeah, it has been massive, especially even 2020.
Okay.
And until now,
During
we had
the COVID
about
times.
150,000 workers that transitioned from their work into purely tech.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it's been mind blowing because most people go into tech with the idea of maybe increasing salary. That's one thing. But aside though, they are also looking at convenience because with the introduction of tech and then due to the impact of COVID-19, lots of employers now don't happen to go to the office any longer to go sit 8 hours at the office Monday to Friday. Instead, you have the whole idea of this remote work. So someone can purely be at home and then work maybe 4 hours, get paid, and then he's good to go.
Nice one. Crisero, let me come to you. You are a teacher. You impact the knowledge you have into school children. Now, with the emergence of AI, how has it how has it been? Has it taught you to now double up how you teach, how you learn? How has it been?
Well, I think that yes, it's been good, and just as they mentioned, or Bernard mentioned, these things have been there. In fact, if you go to the advanced country, the Western world, like the US and all of that, the AI or the robotics or this e-learning and everything, it's been there, but it was very rampant when during the COVID time. Ghana, it wasn't so much here in Ghana until when COVID came, and then students had to sit home and all of that. Then teachers adopted, the e-learning where
it actually brought the platform for you to
you cannot
reskill yourself.
Exactly. So
relearn.
you as a teacher, so teachers who didn't know so much about tech and computing and everything are now beginning to learn it.
So it's a plus.
Yes. So that is the world. That is where we are going. You need to begin to learn how to use the computer, how to use the internet. You understand? That is where we are going. That is where the world is going. The students themselves, yes, if you go to the secondary school or the senior high school setting, students are not supposed to use mobile phones in school. You understand? But they have mobile phones at home. Yeah. So during vacation, even if you do not have a mobile phone, you would have to leave your mom or your dad's number with the teacher.
Yeah.
So they will create a platform, and then when you are home, the teacher teaches you e-learning. They do it. So unlike those times when children come home, they would have to look for teachers elsewhere to have a private class with them, or maybe they will sit at home, read their own books without any teacher guiding them. Now, the teacher will be somewhere in Accra, you are in Takrade, and you still be learning. So it has improved, it has improved teaching and learning, and then there are new techniques.
Okay.
So you are a teacher, you want to go to class, you have to get your lesson plan, ready. There are the AI will help you create, a lesson plan that is more interactive. So learning becomes easier with students, because the kind of teaching learning materials that the AI will generate will create for you, will be interactive, such that in fact it will engage the student throughout the lesson. And when students see phones and tablets and everything around, or sometimes teachers use projectors and everything, it's so exciting. They are engaged throughout the lesson. You wouldn't have students sleeping in class and all of that. They love to see that. You understand? So I think that yes, it has improved learning so much. It has brought some energy into the teaching learning techniques. And there are other negatives. I know we are going to go there, or if I have to go there, there are other negatives with respect to.
Because I was about to ask you that. Have you envisioned this whole AI thing taking place of a
teachers will not be? I don't think so.
Imagine the students will come to class and then they have their laptops in front of them. All they need is just the earpiece and they're listening.
Now there are simulations.
Have you thought of it?
Yes, I have. But the thing is that
you tried not to picture it.
All of these, you will still need someone to operate.
Okay.
Someone create this thing. So just as Fred mentioned, you, the teacher, you'd have to acquire new skill. So the traditional way of just going to class, writing the topic on the board and start to deliver it has changed. Now teachers are learning new techniques. New things are happening. Unfortunately, for us here in Ghana, there is so much inequalities around. There's so much inequality because some places do not even. If you go to some villages, they haven't seen computers before. Some do not have electricity
till now.
Yes, there are villages that.
Where is the electricity anyway? Let's
some villages do not have electricity. Some do not have computers.
Okay.
They do not have well furnished. Not only the villages. Even some secondary schools and some schools in the metropolis do not have well established and well furnished computer laboratories where these things can be done easily. You understand? So, I think with time, we will get there. But for now, yes, if we're a teacher, the traditional way of going to class, standing, putting topic on the board, and you start to deliver, no, it is gradually fading out. Teachers are now being, you have to know computer. You need to be able to use a computer. You need to be able there are things, simulations and everything. So things are changing. If you sit down as a teacher, you said you started teaching somewhere in whatever, and you are not getting to abreast yourself with the changing times, your students will run away from you.
Fred, being an HR person, let me take this one from you. So AI's robots are in the system now. We'll definitely need people to acquire skills to be able to work hand in hand with this. Others too would, go with the normal flow of their work. Don't you think it will bring this sort of inequality when it comes to salaries and all that? Because now, due to AI, some people will step up and learn the softwares and formalities around it. Others too don't require the use of AI. Say like a normal receptionist, and then someone who is an HR would definitely need to learn more about AIs and all these things. Even so, don't you think with the presence of this one, it's making someone earn more than the other, which might not be fair?
The world is not fair.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I see you're happy. This is a gain for you, so you're happy. Okay.
When time changes, you also have to change. You understand? That is why there is something called upgrading. You understand? So if you are in employment and then you think that, or you see that times are changing, the old ways of using things are changing, and you decide to remain there, definitely if you are not kicked out, your value will decrease. And remember, as HRs, we pay value for money. You understand? So if we scale you and your worth is this is how much you are worth according to recent trends, then you get compensated for your value. So definitely the inequalities are there. That is why we should take upscaling very seriously. You know, just like Christian was talking about, during the past, I mean, it was that traditional method where teachers now have to go to the classroom. All you need was a chalk and maybe a whip, a cane, right? And you are good to go.
Yeah.
Now, as a teacher, you need internet. You need a computer. You need a skill to even operate a computer, to maybe do presentations in PowerPoint. So though we all entered the training college, we graduated.
Let me chip in this one. Now, it is even compulsory for teachers to introduce tech in their teaching.
Okay.
So if you are planning your lesson, if you're a teacher and you are planning your lesson,
it needs to be a part of it.
Yes, it should be part.
Exactly.
Yes.
Nice.
It is compulsory. It is
Okay.
something that the government is rolling. And teachers are undergoing.
That's why they said we're giving you people
in-service-
laptops. Or
Yes, it is part. And teachers are now undergoing in-service training.
Fred, why are you laughing?
In-service
Do you have one of the laptops anyway?
I do.
You have one.
I do.
Was it free or you paid?
No. You the government
Subsidized
Yes,
or
there's
you
government
better tell
subsidy.
kaka.
Yeah, so then no, there's an upfront payment from you and
Also,
the government.
So it's actually not free.
No, not free.
Okay.
Yeah, it is not free. I think teachers paid 30% of the price, and then the government pays 70%.
I thought
And
they said free.
No. The one that is going to be supplied to students.
One student, one tablet.
Yeah, that is actually free. But even with that, once you complete school, you would have to hand it over.
Just
to
like the
this.
dictionaries. Okay.
Yes.
The Macmillan.
Yes.
I remember those red.
Oh, but
So teachers are now undergoing in-service
it's like I'm
training.
sounding too political.
They're undergoing in-service training where teachers meet every week or fortnightly, teaching them new ways of teaching.
Okay.
Yes, we call them a professional learning community.
I see.
Yes.
I see. Interesting. It keeps getting better on the One King Show. Let's take a quick turn. And when we are back, I know Bernard has a lot to say. The way he's smiling, it's a win for his sector. Let's take a quick turn. And when we are back, we still have more.
Mineral water, in Ponsio. Shashamali says so.
Come back from that quick commercial break. It's still the One King Show. Let me quickly go to Bernard for more insight on AI. Ben, I know you are more of a software developer, trainer, and all that. Let's take a look at the advantages AI has brought to your sector, and definitely some challenges you people are going through. Aside the enjoyment side, you people are facing some. I know.
Obviously.
So talk to us about that one.
Okay, so with the introduction of AI, especially this particular year, which has been quite massive due to the whole concept of LLMs.
And what's that
large
one?
language models.
LLMs.
Yeah. So the whole idea of LLMs is simply to get data and then feed it with certain algorithms, which is basically the AI algorithm.
Hey, the terms, you know. Let's go.
All right, then let's not get into it. Then.
Let's go.
No, me too.
My viewers need it. Let's go.
All right, okay. So the whole idea of LLMs has made it quite easy on a few tasks, and thereby also making it quite challenging for other developers as well. Because before, we used to have to write code purely from the head, and then from, let's say, a few materials online. But this time around, with the introduction of ChatGPT and also other new AI trends, has made it quite difficult and has led to a lot of layoffs, tech layoffs, especially in big tech companies like NVIDIA. I had about, per my research, 210,000 software developers were laid off from NVIDIA. and also a lot of handful of developers as well from also other tech companies also. So it's brought certain improvement and then certain challenges as well. Because the improvement aspect is such that we don't have to do the work purely so difficult any longer, because we have tools like Copilot, which makes code writing quite easy. So you'd have to write code, but then this time around, it wouldn't be so much difficult because you have the prediction. That's the whole idea with LLMs. It simply predicts the next task that you have to do. That's the whole thing. So I feel the advantages has been great, at least on the side of the business. But in terms of the disadvantage, it's also something with employees as well.
I see. So, what's your stand? Are you pushing that we should accept it in our various working sectors? We should embrace it, use it more.
Obviously.
So that people get more work to do.
Oh no, come on. Okay, so
Because to the table 10, I know about 1,001 IT people who are home eating their mother's food. When you ask what did you do in school, IT, but they are home. So should the table 10 people go back home?
well, we can't put it in that particular area because let's think of it. AI was introduced quite massively. That was in the 90s. And although they used to make noise about it, about laying off a lot of engineers, it still hasn't made so much impact. But for this present year, it has made massive impact. So in terms of job shift, it's quite great. It's quite great because lots of people get to move into AI, into tech specifically, and areas, for example, like software engineering. Because with, like I made mention, Copilot, it makes it much easier, such that if you have to go on and then implement your tasks, you don't have to do it quite the hard way any longer as we used to.
Nice one. Crisero, let's do a round-up of AIs in our education sector.
Yeah, I think that the world is changing and times are changing, definitely. So you need to get yourself abreast with the changing times. So if you're a teacher, whoever, wherever you find yourself, you need to abreast yourself with the changing times. And so it is just normal. We are not going to have it like we used to have it in the 90s or the 80s. This is the 21st century, right? So certainly things would not be as it used to be. And so you only have to embrace it and make sure that you also improve upon yourself. Change is very difficult. Yes. I always say that there are two things that are inevitable: change and death. So once there is a change, definitely we will find we're going to have difficulties. But with time, certainly the change will take place. And with time, people will learn to appreciate the change. It's quite difficult. Now, teachers mark, and you can, with the emergence of AI and all of that, feedback can be, very, instant and all of that. You don't have to go through a lot of stress and you want to prepare a lesson plan. AI can help you prepare a very good lesson plan.
Wow.
Yes. I mean, these things are there. So they have come to help. But I always cry. This side of our world is the problem. Where we find ourselves is our problem. I was speaking to a friend in the United States of America, and he said that during the COVID time, the school bus has internet facility.
Okay.
So what the school bus does is that, he's a teacher there. And so what the school bus does is to just be at a vantage point in the community.
Okay.
And every student in their home will log on to the...
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
The bus has the internet facility. So everyone... But Ghana here, it's not like that.
Do you have light?
You don't even have
Thank you
electricity.
very much.
So the inequality in our area, in our part of the world, is so much. If you are from, excuse me to say, you understand? And so how then do we go through some of these things?
Nice one. Shazi, let me talk to you about AI from the entertainment perspective.
Okay.
So the last time, I think was it Grammy or BET released a statement that they are not going to nominate music that is being made with this AI, softwares and all of that. Do you think a time is coming where our musicians will sit back at home, just push AI's button because they know their voice, give them the lyrics, and they are good to go?
Definitely. So as they were saying, because time has actually changed, and so definitely people are also going to change along with the time, and it will come to that point. It will seriously come to that point, because at this point, when we are looking at this AI and its effect when it comes to the employee side, since I'm into journalism, broadcasting, entertainment, taking it from there, let's start with something like this. We have people that are reporters, people that write, and then now we have AI.
Yeah.
You just chat GPT. You
It writes everything.
write everything, and then you're good to go. So if we have 20 people writing for a company, just imagine. They're
Yeah, I
going to
will do
lose
it
their-
for 100 people. Don't worry.
They are definitely going to lose their jobs.
Wow.
You get it?
Wow.
They are. And I think there's this time I saw this article or story. I read it, and you could clearly see that this is actually GPT chat or chat GPT generated. Because, everything in there you could see clearly. And then if you ask the person who wrote the whole story or the person that published it, probably the person wouldn't even know what exactly the
content.
story actually holds, because it's GPT generated, chat GPT generated. You get it? And so it has gotten to a point where people are going to get lazy, or people are lazy, because now you just relax, you just
And your
cross your
job will be
legs
done.
and just ask AI to do this, do that, and then definitely you're going to get it.
Nice one.
Voiceovers, people are actually doing voiceovers. AI are doing voiceovers for people. And every baby Jessica Williams, you get it. So definitely some of us are going to lose out, but then it is here, so there's nothing we can do.
Nice one. It's here and there's nothing we can do. So that is it on our big plate. Until then, we'll see you next time.